Hi, I'm Kira from myfussyeater.com and these are my two fussy eaters. Say hi!
Hi!
So today I'm going to be doing a healthy food shop or a health food shop haul, just showing you the kind of food and ingredients I've been buying in health food shops recently. As to where I go shopping, it's mostly, for the health food shops, it's mostly Holland Barrett, which is a chain here in the UK, some local independent health food shops, and also when I get the chance, when I'm in London, I really love going to Whole Foods and Planet Organic. And last weekend we were in London, so I did hit up Whole Foods. Not as much as I would have liked, because I had my little girl with me and she was being a little bit of a pain in the bum. So I had to make it quick, but I'll show you quickly the kind of things that I bought there. First up were these buckwheat noodles. Now I really love these, but unfortunately I'm the only member of my family who does. Basically they are like standard Japanese, Chinese or any kind of Asian noodles, but made with buckwheat flour rather than the usual wheat flour or the egg noodles that you get either. As I said, my family don't really like these, so it's just me that eats them, but I do like them because they're gluten free. When I am trying to cut down the amount of gluten I eat, I use these instead of the normal noodles, and they are really good. Next up are these oat cakes, which this Narns brand in the UK, it's not specific to health food stores. You can actually get it in most supermarkets and shops, but I really like these oat cakes as snacks for the kids. For my little boy especially, he's snacking a lot at the moment because he's 14 months and he always seems to be going through growth spurts and is permanently hungry. So these are a fantastic little thing to have in the cupboard to give him. He loves the cheese flavour in particular because they are a bit more flavoursome than the plain ones, and there's very little in it really, which is always a good thing, and in particular the sugar count is really low on this particular pack. It is 0.6% sugar or 0.6 grams per 100 grams of sugar. So comparing that to like a standard cookie or even some rusks or kind of baby specific cookies and things that you can get out there, they're probably 20, somewhere 30% sugar, so this is really low and a great alternative. Something else I have for the kids, which they love, are these dried banana chips. They're literally just banana cut up, probably put in a dehydrator or something. I guess they are a little bit more expensive than normal bananas. I think this pack, which is 250 grams, was about £3.50. But they are so handy to have because my kids are crazy about bananas. We go through so many, so it's quite nice just to have it in a slightly different format. Something else for the kids that I picked up in Whole Foods are these Ella Kitsch's pouches. Again, they're not specific to health food shops. You can get them in any supermarket. I try not to give them these too often because they are expensive for basically just pureed fruit, but they're really handy to have if you're out and about on the go, and we are travelling to Ireland this weekend, so I thought it might be really good to have some of these in my bag to keep them quiet on the plane. Some other bits I picked up are this date syrup. Now I try where possible to use as little sugar in my cooking and baking, and I use liquid sweeteners like this date syrup. I use a lot of maple syrup, a lot of honey, so I run out, so I just needed another jar of that. This is really good, it's really sticky, so it's great for any kind of baking, flapjacks or energy bars, anything that you want to cling together. This is fantastic because it's really sticky. The next thing I bought is this hazelnut butter from Meridian. Again, not necessarily health food store specific, but I find that the supermarkets tend to only really carry the peanut butter jars, and maybe almond butter, but not the other nut butters like cashew and this hazelnut. But this I absolutely adore. Honestly, it tastes like Ferrero Rochers, and especially if you're just feeling really peckish or you want something nice at night time, a couple of spoons of this with a little bit of cocoa on top, and I promise you it tastes like you're eating a Ferrero Rocher. It even has the same texture because it's not really smooth like a lot of peanut butter is, quite crunchy. So it's really, really good, and definitely one to have in the cupboard if you crave chocolate and evil snacks like that at night time. This is fantastic. I also picked up some of these naked bars. I love them. My little boy will nibble on some. My little girl's not too keen, but I think because they're quite datey, she doesn't really like dates. Again, I try not to eat these every day because they are quite expensive, but again, because we're traveling, I thought these would be good to have in my bag. And then the last thing I got in Whole Foods was this jar of tahini, which I've been trying to use more tahini lately. It's obviously great if you want to make your own hummus at home, but I've also been using it in Asian cooking, so in stir fries, or to make a nice kind of salad dressing or a noodle salad. It's really good if you make a dressing with that, and it is very high in protein, so it's a great thing to have on hand if you don't necessarily have a lot of protein in your meal. If you add a few spoons of tahini, it will boost that for you, so it's a great little staple to have. And next up are the few bits that I got in Holland Barrett. So if you're not from the UK, Holland Barrett is like a chain health food store here in the UK. First thing was this kilo of dates. I do use quite a few dates anyway, and I use them to make flapjacks for the baby or little oat bars. I will leave the recipe down below if you want to have a look, for their great kind of sugar-free weaning snack for babies. I also blitz them up in smoothies and makes them lovely and sweet, really caramelly, so it's really great to have large bags of these on hand, and they also of course cost less when you buy them in bulk. The same with nuts, so I picked up another big bag of almonds. Last weekend I was actually supposed to make a recipe from the Deliciously Ella book using dates and almonds, but unfortunately our friends couldn't come, so I didn't make it in the end, so I'll probably keep these to make that recipe quite soon. Next thing I picked up in Holland Barrett was this coconut oil. Now I use coconut oil all the time. I literally probably buy a jar about once a month. I usually buy the Lucy B brand, which again I think is a UK brand, and I generally order that every month from Amazon. But I was running out and needed another jar quite quickly, so I picked this up at Holland Barrett, and it was half price. It's usually about £15. I got it for about £7 or £7.50, which was quite good, so I picked that up. I've not used that brand before, but hopefully it's going to be exactly the same, because I do love my coconut oil. I literally use it in frying, I use it in most cooking where it requires any kind of oil or butter. I use it in baking. I use it to make oat bars and energy bars. I've even started oil pulling with it, so I literally use it all the time. Next thing I picked up there was this Meridian jam. Now I really like this because it is sugar-free, or at least refined sugar-free. There's no sugar added. Obviously the natural sugar from the strawberry is still in it, but the ingredients are literally apple juice, strawberries, and then the gelling agents, the pectin, to make it set. My little girl is jam obsessed. She loves it on so many things, so I thought this was a great alternative just to cut down on the sugar that's in normal jam. I also used it in a recipe this week for strawberry overnight oats, and it was absolutely divine. It was so delicious, so I will again leave a recipe down below so you can have a look at that. And And then the last thing I picked up in Holland Barrett was this giant tub of peanut butter. Now, again, I absolutely love my peanut butter, but not all peanut butter is created equally. You have to read the ingredients if you want to know what exactly it is you're eating, and you want to monitor how much sugar you and your family are having. This is great because it is literally 100% peanuts, there's nothing else added to it, so it's probably one of the healthiest ones that you can get out there. I buy it in the big tubs because it's massive, but it's a lot more economical this way. I think this 1 kg pot was about £6, and when you compare that to the small little pot of hazelnut butter I bought, I think that was £3. So if you use a lot of peanut butter, this is a great way to buy it a little bit more cheaply. And some other bits that I also picked up in the last couple of weeks was this giant jug, this 1 litre jug of maple syrup. Again, as I said, I do use a lot of liquid sweeteners in place of sugar in my cooking and baking, and maple syrup is an expensive ingredient, there's no doubt about it, it is quite expensive. So this is a good way, again, of buying it a little bit cheaper, is to get it on bulk, and I got that one on Amazon. And then finally, the last thing I picked up, I think I picked this up in a health food shop a few weeks ago, was this packet of flaxseed. Now, I have been reading about flaxseed all over the place the last few months, and I just been meaning, or keep meaning, to buy a packet and to try it out. It says on it, one of nature's superfoods. It is supposed to be a fantastic ingredient to cook with. It is really high in fibre and also a really good source of omega-3, so quite a good thing to get into kids' diets, I think. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with it yet. If you have any ideas or recipes, then let me know in the comments and I will give them a try. If not, when I do try something out and vlog it, I will let you know. I'll put the link down below. So that was it. That was my healthy food shop or health food shop haul. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments to share or recipes that you think would work really well with some of these ingredients, just drop me a line in the comments and give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and don't forget to subscribe to get more. Thank you, see you next time.